What up, everybody? Today is a pretty cool, special little day because I'm going to write some mix reference notes for a new song that I'm going to be releasing pretty soon. This isn't really like a template per se, but it's just kind of like an accumulated, kind of list of things that I think would be, that I've done from time to time that I think would be helpful for someone who's helping me mix my song, get it to where it needs to be. And as I kind of put in the little header, because I thought it was important, I would fill this out. I would fill this, what I'm about to show you out, even if I wasn't sending it to anybody else, because then it's kind of like, okay, you've made the decision. You're moving from production things to now mixing things, and have some kind of specific set of goals that you want to get out of mixing. Because if I've done this plenty of times where I've just sent it, carte blanche to a mixing engineer, and, that can sometimes work out really well. Sometimes it can deviate you further from your vision. So if you don't say what your vision is, if you don't take the time to ask yourself what your vision is, then how is somebody else supposed to be able to help you get there? So it's a good exercise. One, obviously, if you are paying for someone's time and you are using your hard-earned money to have somebody help you, then you should give them all the any possible tool that you can to let them get the song to where you want. And also, it's just a good exercise for asking yourself these types of questions. And these are the types of things that I think about when I'm kind of in the mixing stage of things. So anyway, let's get to it. Yep. All right. So basically the song is this one.
Feels like I got this power rising. Found the beauty in my sins. I squinted from the wind, speeding towards the horizon. The gate from nothing started packed. Always call me caught. So,
the only thing that sucks is that I can't play my mix reference. So the song that I'm really referencing, I'm gonna start a little flow because I don't need this to take too long. No, reset. So the song "So Am I," it's produced by Skrillex, and it's just like it's soft in the verses. It's Ty Dolla $ign. Yeah, it's on Ty Dolla $ign's Beach House, I believe, and with Damian Marley and Skrillex. So it's produced by Skrillex. So the production is super smooth. Ty's voice is very pop present, airy, in your face, all the things that I want translated from my song. So, these are things that I'll end up writing down, but just kind of, since I can't play the song, I want to kind of explain why I chose this as a reference. So ultimately, I guess, when I'm thinking about references, I really just pick apart certain things. So I might reference 4 different songs, and just say, hey, I like this tone from this song. I like this, the way the drums hit in this song. But for this one, really, the whole song itself is like a pretty good representation of where I want to take the song, sonically, at least. So I'm just going to leave that as one, basically. Let me see. All right, so references. So let's say vocals. I like the pop tone on Ty Dolla $ign's voice, crisp, clear, in your face. I like the smooth nature of the smoothness. This is tough that I can't actually play it. You know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to mute my output so that I can play it and hear it, and then I can explain to you. But that I wonder if am I gonna get dinged if I even have my microphone playing, because I got a compressor on here and everything, so it's probably gonna pick up the song. I'm not trying to get banned from YouTube. I haven't even gotten started yet. All right, this is tough. I did this because I wanted to show you guys like what I do, but if I can't listen to the song, it's hard for me to do what I need to do. We'll try it, and then I may revisit it later, and then in which case, whatever. All right, so verse, drop, chorus. It's kind of a so in a pleasant way. Fairly distorted, but in a pleasant way. Similar, quick, punchy bass webs, because in mine it goes da 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 da, and all the while it's going bump 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 bump, and I want those to be separate because sometimes the subwebs can get a little mushy where it's like wah wah. It's almost like you're not closing your mouth all the way, like wah 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 wah. But I want it to be bub 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 bub. See, it's like I want it to be punchy. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much. I like the contrast between the smoothness of the backing instrumental. Yeah, with the crisp cutting. Crispness of the lead vocal. So overall, this song is like on the beauty of my sins, I squinted from the window. And it's got me feeling brand new, like everything I feel is brand new. All right, so let's kind of go through what I can go through here. So things I want to keep. I go through this section because sometimes there are things where, there are accidents, there are sounds that are messed up, but you like them messed up, and they fit the bill for what you need. And so this is my section to identify those things. Started like everything I felt proudly. Everything I did in my sins. So things I actually like. There's nothing really in particular that I need to keep, but the things I specifically want to address. I feel like the verse vocals are slightly disconnected. Like some help gluing them together. Maybe with reverb, delay throws. Delays.
squinted from the power rising. Found the beauty in my sins. I squinted from the winds, speeding towards the horizon. The came from nothing, started pack. Papa's called me quarterback. Made one head of water, yeah.
Maybe they're not as disconnected. You know what? I feel like this is just kind of tough without being able to listen to the references and bounce around. So I guess that's a learning, is that's really just fundamentally a part of this process, just listening to a bunch of songs, figuring out where the similarities are between what you want your song to be, what I want my song to be, and what kind of already exists in the world, and picking together my favorite little pieces of each and making this Frankenstein of an awesome song. So I think I'm probably just gonna cut it here, because I'm sorry guys, like I need to be able to listen to the reference tracks, and I'll get flagged for copyright or whatever it is if I do that right now here. So thank you for joining. I hope, I guess I might as well just go through this template real quick. So basically, mix reference. Here, I'll go into check this out. I think there's like a presentation mode. Hold up. All right, cool. So for mix references, literally, like, what is the tone of the song? And it can vary by individual part. So like for the vocals, you might like the tone from a particular part in somebody else's song. Say that, link it, link the song, download the song, whatever, have it available for the mix engineer. Same thing with all the different things. If you like the way that the hi-hats hit in one song, say that, paste a link, say exactly what you like about it. And that way the person will have that much more information to go with. So for song inspiration and overall vibe, just kind of like what is the story behind the song? Because ultimately a mix engineer's job is to, one, make sure that nothing's totally out of whack, but ultimately, like, the goal of things not sounding out of whack is to deliver the message of your song. If that's a vibe, if that's a feeling, if that's illustrating a moment, if it's whatever it happens to be, what is that thing? And all other choices should be in support of that thing. So this is you saying what that thing is. If the song inspiration, overall song vibe is uplifting, and it's about power, and it's about uprising, then every single mixing decision, every single production decision, every single thing that goes into the song should support that. So that this is kind of like the most important umbrella under which the mixing engineer will operate and kind of be able to make his or her decisions. So again, things I want to keep from the original version, if there's any if there's anything specifically that you like maybe you distorted the bass and it sounds odd, but you actually like it that way, and you would be sad if the mix engineer put a high pass on it or put a low pass on it and got rid of all those lovely harmonics that you made by accident. If there's kind of like the thought, like, well, do I strip off all my effects so that the mix engineer can do them? No. If you really like something, then keep it. It's really that simple. If you want to give the person flexibility, give them a copy of whatever stem without your processing, and then also maybe give them something with your processing so that they can kind of mix and match, make a choice. You guys can work together. And then, so things I'd like to address. Basically, this section is pretty much for if there are things that maybe are just above my pay grade in terms of being able to fix from a producer point of view, and I need specific help with, like, hey, maybe my vocals aren't compressed the right way. They still sound a little too dynamic, but I don't want to foobar them by compressing myself because I don't know exactly, maybe how to do it in the way that sounds best. Obviously still try yourself, in the off band, but for a released song, if you really just want it to sound awesomely compressed or, you want it to have that sheen, say that, I don't think that the vocals sound compressed enough, or just, I don't think that they sound even enough, or I would like them to sound like this vocal. It's all just kind of these little directions here and there for nudging you in the right place, or nudging in the mix engineer. Where the files are, after these big projects are exported, sometimes it takes a while to actually literally navigate through the entire project structure. So what I do is I literally take here, let me show you. So I literally take screenshots of, so this is for my other song. I'll literally take screenshots of where everything's are, or where everything's are, where everything is, with like little notes, so that they can understand, like, hey, these are the dry versions, these are the wet versions, whatever it is. Just the whole goal of this thing is to make it easier for the person that's trying to interpret your vision to do that. So all this stuff may seem, excessive or, overly detailed, but this is what really helps. Let me go back to my other one. And then other notes, honestly, I just, this is kind of funny, but I use the other notes as like as a pep talk to the mix engineer. Here, wait, hold on 1 second. Sorry, my wife was calling me. I was like, no, I'm alive. The other notes, honestly, I'll just be nice. Just be like, hey, well, I guess the thank you note is there, but just be like, I really appreciate you helping me with this song, and thank you very much. And I hope we can make this sound awesome together, because at the end of the day, this, like, there are people. These a mix engineer is a person. You are a person, and as much as all this detail helps to illustrate what you want, there's also the human element of it, and you just want to be. I want to be nice to people, and I want, when somebody mixes a song for me, to be excited about it, and as excited as I am. So I think just, putting a little bit of a personal touch in there goes a long way. So the final part of this is basically just, at the end, what do you want? So this first one, the main stereo mix, is pretty standard. That's like what you will get if you say nothing else. Like, this is what you should get at the end of a mix. If you paid for someone to mix your song, this is what you should get. You may have to pay more for these next items, but I'm going to go through them anyway because I'm asking for them. So I want an acapella version. Oh, you know what? I actually forgot one. So I'm going to edit this. I want... Oh, shoot. Yeah, I got to edit the other one. So a show version. I'll explain what that is in a minute. All right. So the acapella version, pretty much what it sounds like. After your vocals have been mixed, get somebody to get the mix engineer to specifically output just the vocal tracks. And you can specify, if it's just everything, if it's your lead vocal with all the backing instrumentals or backing vocals, all the little ad libs and stuff, or if it's just the lead vocal, whatever you want. Let's see. So that can be helpful for if you want to give it to somebody else, if you want to remix it later, these are just very helpful things to have. Same thing with the instrumental, if you want to give it to somebody else to throw a feature on it, or if you want to be able to sing over it at a show. Instrumental is the base thing you'll need, but honestly, what you really want for a show is the show version, which is literally everything except for the lead vocal is stripped out, because you can't, assuming that the ad libs, delays, and stuff are all underneath and kind of in tandem with your lead vocal, you're one person, you can't say them all at the same time. So this is basically a mixed version of the song that has space for you to sing if you're performing it live. And aside from that, this one's really rare, the session files. So I was able to ask my mixing engineer specifically, I was like, hey, I'm really trying to get better at mixing myself. I'm not going to send them anywhere, but I would just really love to see at the end of this song, what are the things that you did, kind of like, how did you make it sound this awesome? And so I asked my mixing engineer for the Pro Tools session files. So And this particular mix engineer said yes, which is freaking awesome. So I'm super psyched about that. And maybe at some point I'll even ask him if I can put them on the site, or, you know, I can kind of show them to you guys. But yeah, this is, I mean, the worst thing that could happen is they say no. And, you know, which is, they're right. You know, it's kind of like, you know, this is their, like the song and all the stems and stuff, that's your intellectual property. And kind of at the end of the day, the way that they mix songs is their intellectual property, and they're not obligated to give that to you, you know, to kind of expose the secret sauce. So anyway, so yeah. And then obviously I think, you know, at the end, because they're spending time in their, you know, lives to do this. So anyway, so I wish I could go through and actually fill this out, you know, as much as, you know, totally all the way through. But I just need to listen to the songs on Spotify to be able to pick apart the references that I want. And I don't want to get dinged for copyright, which stinks. But maybe in the future I'll figure out some way to do that. But anyway, so I hope this is helpful. You know, these are the things that I think about when I'm doing mixing, and, yeah, hopefully this is helpful for anyone that's watching. So appreciate you. I'm going to cut it there, and I'm literally over the next 20 minutes, I'm just kind of going to go through and play the songs. Maybe I can mute it. No, I think I'm just going to take some time by myself to do that. But in the future, I will figure out a way to play the songs. But anyway, thank you so much for joining. Honestly, like, I love doing this so much. So anyway, thank you for watching, and until next time, rock on.